Good afternoon. All right, for those of you folks who don't know me, I'm Ori Spado, the accidental gangster. Welcome to my channel. Mandy, we got a lot to talk about today here. So let's see if we can get some people here. Uh, I think everybody's out. I've been running around all day today. And I get home, I don't have my house keys. Lucky, the manager unlocked my door for me. I got in, took a flashlight, I went down to the car. They're not there. I had to call all the places I was at. Thank the Lord. Whole Foods over at the Grove had it. I had to drive back there. But thank the Lord that I got my key, my mailbox key, the key to the swimming pool. All the keys were there. Folks, I don't know if you're like me, you're bewildered, baffled, confused, okay? Hey, we got my friend Candola from Florida, Orlando, Florida, or from Florida. I'm gonna be down there, not very, very soon I'm gonna be down to Florida. Folks, this Nancy Guthrie thing is just getting out of hand. It's 2 weeks today that this has been going on. She's an 84-year-old woman. Twice, 2 nights, we thought that the FBI and the Sheriff's Department in Pima County had something, and they had nothing. Folks, they had to get search warrants for both these places they went to. They had to disturb a judge to get that thing. What the hell were they looking for? They detained people, then they let them go. Huh? They raided a house last night 2 miles from Nancy's house. My opinion, folks, I'm going to tell you, I don't think she's alive. I'm going to tell you what I think I had, and I want you folks to know if this makes any sense, okay? Thank you, Casey. I appreciate that there. Does the FBI know what they're doing? Yeah. Does the Sheriff's Department know what they're doing? I don't know. I got nothing to do with Arizona, so I can't tell you that. And by the way, folks, all right, join my membership, the Gangster Squad, $4.99 a month, so you can get information, all right, before everybody else, before it goes out to the public, okay? So it's only $4.99 a month, folks. And folks, also, please subscribe to my network here. Help me grow this station and get moving, all right? So they detained 3 people last night. Let them all go. They had the SWAT team, 100 FBI agents, you name it, okay? And it's there, all right? And they come up with nothing. Now, they want to talk about maybe the cartel got her. Well, does the cartel really know who she is? Okay? I don't think so. And I think if the cartel did it, it would have been much more professional, okay? And they would have kept her alive. Because I don't believe she is. I hope and pray that she is. But I don't think so. Now, here's a theory, folks. We know that she had health issues, all right? Her medicine wasn't taken with her. There was blood, they said it was her blood, at the scene. But she's an 84-year-old woman, pretty frail at that age. And I think she did have heart problems. What if she had a heart attack and died? What if they didn't kill her? And that screwed up their whole plan. Now they have a dead body. Okay? Nobody thought of that one, did they? Huh? That's a very good possibility. So now these people are frightened. Whoever captured her, or whoever got her, whatever word you want to call, okay? Yeah, Bog, I'm just yapping here today. And then at the end of this, I'm going to let folks ask me any question they want. As long as they're respectful, I will answer them. Okay? All right? Yeah, I'll write you in my will. Keep dreaming. Oh, now the pool cleaning crews at her house. What are they going to look for? That's my theory, folks. That's a very good possibility. All right? That she died and that messed up their plans. Okay? Your question, why her? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Okay? But the FBI, between the FBI and the sheriff's Prima, all right, they're like us YouTubers. We want clicks and views, okay? And, you know, in every network, no matter who you look, they got these expert people coming on, all right? Some of them come up. There's only one person I heard last night come out and say that he thinks she's no longer with us. One person is all I heard. The others all got their theories. They're all professionals. They've done it 1,000 times. They talk like they know what the hell they're doing. But nobody knows. This is a mystery to everybody. Okay? Yeah, that ring cam thing. Okay? They got that released. Okay? Why somebody with the kind of money that Savannah Guthrie has not have a subscription, okay? Thank God that it was they were still able to obtain some information from it, okay? But, you know, she's worth over $40 million. And you mean to tell me she's not going to pay for a subscription? And then the other thing, all right? Nancy Guthrie was at her daughter's home. What's the daughter's name? I forgot. Daughter and son-in-law. And they put her in an Uber and sent her home. They live a mile apart. And they called an Uber and put her in an Uber. You mean to tell me they couldn't drive her 1 mile to their home? Okay? That don't make any sense to me. So this whole thing is so weird. I have no idea where to begin. Well, you know what, Mandy, at that age, you would think they would have had somebody taking care of her and being with her, okay, if she was that ill, all right? So there's something, and I don't know. I think at this point, what they're looking for, they're trying to find a body, and they're not having any luck. But then again, don't forget, Mexico's not that far away. Mexico is not even an hour away from there. So it's could be that these people are in Mexico. And then why are they picking TMZ to send the ransom notes for the Bitcoin? Why are they calling and sending them to TMZ? Ryan, I'm 81 years old. You know, people ask me questions. Everything about me is out there in the public. Okay? Everything about me you want to know. Go to my website. It's right in the profile. Read about me. Find out who I am, what I've done in my life. Okay? I was a gangster. And I'm trying to think if I were a gangster to kidnap people, what would I be doing? Okay? And I gotta tell you, I wouldn't be doing it like that. I would have had some money and they would have had their mother back by now. But that's one thing that I never did. We never kidnapped people. Okay? Many years ago, though, all right, in Italy, John Paul Getty's son was kidnapped, and they paid the ransom after, and it was the Italians, they cut his ear off. But they show proof of life. There's no proof of life here. If you were the kidnapper and you wanted money, you're going to show proof of life. You're going to grab that money and then you got to get away where the hell ever you want to run to. Okay? So, that's what I wanted to share with you folks today. All right? So, folks, please subscribe, like, share, hype. Do that hype button. Some of you have been hyping me and it seems to be working out really well. I appreciate that there. And, you know, I don't understand why a lot of people are writing me and say they don't know how to work PayPal. You know how to work Cash App. You know how to work Venmo. PayPal works the same way, okay? So you don't have to be a rocket scientist. Even I can figure it out. And I don't know shit about technology, all right? So, let's open up this for questioning now. Ask me any question you want as long as you're respectful. You know, and folks, I want to tell you a little. I want to wish everybody a very happy Valentine's Day. I mean, today they're selling billions of dollars worth of flowers. I'm you know, and talking about flowers, I'm going to give you two stories. All right, one in New York, one right here in Los Angeles about flowers. In New York, we had to go, one of my friends had to go visit somebody. The offices were on 6th Avenue, which is also Avenue of the Americans. And so we're waiting in the car while he had to go up in this big high-rise office building. And I'm sitting in the car, and there's a guy selling flowers on the corner. Now he's there. He's got all these flowers. He's got his flower stand, and people are just walking by. He's not selling any. So now there were two other guys in the car. I said, you want to make a bet? I said, I could sell those flowers out, all right, before our friend comes back down. They said, how you going to get them? I said, watch this. I get out of the car. I go to the guy who owns the flower. I said, how much you want for all of them? Gives me a price. I said, I got them lower. I said, I'm going to pay you cash. Paid him cash. I took all the flowers. Folks, I sold them all within an hour, and I made $1,000. You know why? Because I asked people if they want to buy. He's just standing there like a buffoon. I asked people, and they bought them. Another time, my friend Steve Gold, you know those little huts. He had a hut. It was in Studio City, on the corner. It was a busy street, but nobody was stopping to sell flowers. I said, Steve, they're not going to stop the car to come here and buy flowers. First of all, there's no parking for them. I said, let me show you how we sell them. And my friend David was there. I said, David, grab some. I want you to stand over there on the street. I'm going to stand here. And folks, before you know it, I'm asking everybody, all right, it's got a car, hey, flower, boom, boom, they're paying the cash, give them the flowers in the car, and it's over. See, folks, if you ask, that's why you always hear, all right, the squeaky wheel is the one that gets greased. Have you heard that? Did I vote for George Washington? Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I went across the Delaware with him too. Okay, you can see my picture there if you look at the pictures. Somebody said, don't whack me. Folks, do you know what it means if I said I had to go do a piece of work? Do you know what a piece of work means in the life? Okay? Do you know what it means? Come on, does anybody here, when I say somebody's got to do a piece of work, what does it mean? Come on, somebody know here? Yes, Sherry, I've given my life to Jesus. Yes, I'm a believer. All right? That's a good one. You only date black girls. You got it right, King. Tony. Tony knows. I bet Tony's Italian. He knows. Okay? When a piece of work done, it got to be done, folks. Okay? It's got to be done to somebody. And that's what it means. Okay? Tony from the Bronx. I've been there many times to those restaurants on Arthur Avenue, Tony. Great food in the Bronx. For those of you folks don't know that there. Okay, and the Bronx, New York's got some of the best food. Okay? Better than Little Italy in New York. What do you think, Tony? Am I right? Huh? New York was great back in the days. I don't know how it is now with Madame there. How is it, Tony? All right? Chicken cutlets. I love veal cutlets. You know, folks, Jimmy Cacci, who was the underboss of Los Angeles, was one of my best friends out here. We were together all the time. And Jimmy was originally from Buffalo. But he made filet mignon cutlets. And he was good. Jimmy was great in the kitchen. I mean, this guy, when he got through cooking, the food was fantastic and the kitchen was spotless. Everything cleaned and put away. Jimmy passed away when I was in prison. All right? So I do miss him. Unfortunately, you live in Florida. Florida's a good place. You got that right, Mandy. I'm going to let's speak about Jimmy Hoffa. People keep asking me about Jimmy Hoffa. I'm going to tell you what happened to Jimmy. You all know that he was picked up at that restaurant there in Detroit, outside of Detroit. He was brought to a home not too far from there, just a few blocks. The moment that he got out of the car and walked into that home, boom, that's what they did. Then they took him to a factory they had downtown, and they burned him. A week later, that whole factory burned down, so there's no evidence. This bullshit that they put him in a 50-barrel drum, all right, and drove him to New Jersey to bury him, How stupid do you think people are? We're not that dumb. We're going to drive around from halfway across country with a body in a thing. I mean, who could believe that? Maybe the FBI there in Arizona, maybe they believe that, huh? Okay. Because it looks like, look what the hell they're doing there. Jesus Christ, I can't stop talking about it. Okay? I got the TV on as I'm talking to you, okay? Developing stormers, former HHS advisor, DHS funding lapse, Dems man ICE reform. Folks, I don't care if you're on the red or the blue. You both think you're right, you're both right. Our Congress, our Senate is the most crooked bastards on earth, okay? Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, Charles. John, if you don't like it, you could leave, John, okay? I got no problem with you leaving. Go someplace else, okay? Yes, Slip, I've been speaking about the kidnapping. Okay, I give my thoughts on that there. You're going to have to hit replay, all right, to hear what I thought. I play roulette once in a while. I'm a blackjack player. What am I going to have for dinner? Probably nothing, folks. I already ate. You won't believe it. It's about a fillet of fish at McDonald's. And so, folks, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. Don't cost you a penny. Okay? So let's see, what question we got? 10 questions. Well, begin 10 numbers. I'll begin with 17, 21, 11, and you pick the other 7. Honest, my friend, T-Mister, I'm older than your grandparents. Okay? I am 81 years old. All right? Who's this here? Cat with strip. Meet Roy DeMayo or my family. I don't know who your family is, but I never met Ray DeMayo. He was not one person I ever wanted to meet. Okay? A lot of people who met him are no longer with us. Okay? So I cut the grass in dress shoes. I don't cut the grass. What's the point of life? You know, folks, everybody wants to make money. Everybody wakes up in the morning and figure out how they're going to make money, put food on the table for their loved ones, and so forth. Okay? And what everybody forgets about is happiness, being happy. And, you know, that's what I strive for, folks. Because no matter how much money you have, it's not going to make you happy. Yeah, to make your life easier, but it's not going to make you happy. And if you're not making other people happy, you're not going to be happy. And I say this all the time to you. Do something kind for somebody else. Even if it's a simple hello. Because we live in a world where nobody talks to nobody anymore. I watched Bill Maher last night. You know, I like Bill Maher, I gotta be honest with you. Okay, he's one of the smartest guys around. I don't understand why the Democrats don't listen to him. I guess they don't listen to anybody. Okay? But He's always calling it right. I gotta say that much. All right? And what was I gonna say? Somebody asked me, what was the funniest I ever had on a job? Well, the funniest thing was, I called up one of my guys one time. I said, look, we gotta go, I got a job. I said, why don't you come with me? I said, I want you to get a cat. He said, what? I said, get a cat. So he got a cat. He said, what the freak you want a cat for? I said, you'll see. When I go to this place, the reason I wanted the cat is because I wanted to see they had wires, okay? All right, that would sound off the alarm. And I thought that was funny anyway. All right. It was I called the kid my nephew, and he didn't think it was funny, but oh, you know, the thing is, we had a lot of fun doing things too. All right. Joseph asked me what I thought about the movie The Goodfellas. Well, that happened to be written by my dear friend Nick Pileggi. Okay, for you, those of you who don't know, Nick is one of the best authors in Hollywood. He also wrote Casino, and he wrote Alto Nights. And Nick, actually, folks, for you, those who had not purchased my book, okay, The Accidental Gangster, Nick Pileggi wrote a blurb for the back of my book. And let me read it to you. For nearly 40 years, Orlando Ori Spado was a friend and associate of John Sonny Franche, underboss of the Colombo organized crime family. His relationship with Sonny brought him to the attention of the FBI and eventually led to his being indicted with Sonny on federal RICO charges and imprisoned. In The Accidental Gangster, Ori provides the details of his time in the life and his long battle with the FBI, whose overwhelming resources made it a fight that was impossible to win. Nick Pileggi, author and screenwriter, Casino and Goodfellas. All right. So I think Goodfellas, in my opinion, was one of the most real of the mafia movies that are out there. Before 1933, I was born in 44. Come on, we got any questions? I'm not seeing my screen moving over here. Come on, folks. I shall answer any of your questions. Well, Tim, I'm sorry for your grandpa died in his sleep. That's the best way to go. God bless. Yes, I served in the military, U.S. Army, Jay. Yes, Wander, I'm going to be writing another book very shortly. I'll let you know when I do. My friend the Wanderer is here, folks. Everybody say hello, all right? The Trina family, the Trina family, where they out of, Tony? Trina, no. Are they out of the Bronx? I never heard of them. Let me know where they're from. The Trina. Give me a few names over there. Maybe I would know the names. All right? Hello, Ella Margaret. Huh? Who are you? Somebody asked who I am. You know, folks, go to my profile. There's my website there. Click on my website and read everything about me, or buy my book, The Accidental Gangster. Okay? God is everything. You're right, Mimi. Am I happy? Good question. I'm happy that I'm still here on this earth and that I'm able and have the ability to be able to come here, share my wisdom, give you my thoughts. All right? I'm well versed in most subjects. I could talk politics with the best of them. And although I hate the subject of politics, because those politicians are the real crooks. They're the real mafia. All right? But being happy, I told you, it's such. I'm not happy with our government, I could tell you that much. I'm very unhappy with what's going on. And folks, I said this last week for those of you who watch. I said, the moment I heard Netanyahu was going to visit Donald Trump past Wednesday, I said, at that point, you're going to see something change in Iran. And sure as shit, folks, I was right. Trump sent another warship there. It's already there. You know, you got to remember, Trump's approval rating is at the lowest it's ever been. It's in the 30s, okay? He hasn't done anything for the people that he said he was going to do. But yet, he puts his, and by the way, folks, look at him when you see him on TV. Do you notice that his face is swollen? He looks awfully tired. He's not looking the same, okay? But anyhow, I think he got his orders from his boss, Netanyahu. Believe it, don't believe it, it's up to you. But I think we're heading for war because I truly believe that Trump thinks a war will help him out, all right? And a war will distract us from the Epstein files and all the other bad things that Donald Trump is doing. And that's what he wants to do, is distract us all and divide us. You might not like what I say, folks. I'm sorry. That's my feeling. That's the gut coming, the gut of a gangster telling you that there. All right? Any more questions over there? Mandy, all right? Thank you, Kennedy. Ice Claire, thank you. What am I going to do today? Well, I don't have a girl to be my Valentine, so I'm here, all right? Yes, Braden, I am a veteran. Thank you. Huh? Sound good, old wanker. I thought that was a great thing, chat with, get strapped there. Yeah, the chin, I thought that was awesome. He was a great actor putting that on. The funniest thing is, okay, when he was in his bathtub with the shower on with an umbrella, okay? And the FBI went to his house. And they opened the curtain. There he is with an umbrella. Oh my God, he did some funny shit. You gotta admit that there. All right, but look at the Genovese crime family is the biggest and most powerful, more powerful than the Gambino. Okay, and very smart people in there. Okay, and he built it. You go days without talking to anybody, Phil? Yeah, Bill Maher does speak the truth. And you know, folks, I talk a lot about when I say how social media is destroying the world. He had a guy on there last night. Last name was Haight, something like that. He wrote a book. Actually, I'm going to buy it today. Okay, all about how social media is hurting our children. Okay, he feels that he thinks that a lot of young people are dying of cyberbullying, taking their lives, and things like that. There, and it's not cool because people are using this social media all for the wrong reasons, and I don't like it, folks. All right. Somebody wrote me, Miss Mama, think Sammy the Bull's still around? Yeah, Sammy's in Arizona. Yeah, he's still there. Yeah, yeah. Troy, what are you trying to say there? Huh? Thank you, Neely. Yeah, Cassie, I feel bad for the family too. Okay? But I think this is an investigation that's, they're found too many leads. You got a lot of fake people out there asking for money. Somebody says he's got information of who's who, all right? And he wants $100,000. That's what the reward is, idiot, okay? The reward for information leading to the arrest is $100,000. He wants half up and half after he does it. Well, they're not going to do that. Give us the information, they'll pay the 100 grand. All right? So there's too many fake people out there trying. So they got thousands and thousands of citizens writing in, giving leads. They got a lot of work to do. It seems like they're following the wrong leads. So I don't have all the answers, folks. I'm as bewildered as you are about this. First vehicle I ever bought was a 1962 Chevy Super Sport. It was white with leather interior. Thank you, Doheny. Thank you. All right, did I say it right? The state of the world. Well, look at other countries. They don't look at the United States like they used to. That's not good. Okay. Donald Trump is dismantling everything each and every day, a little here, a little there. Okay? He is a true distractor. We'll talk about one thing next day and change it entirely the next. Look, yeah, Cancer Troy. All right, folks, that's about all for today. I gotta tell you, boy, if you wanted to make money today, I should have gotten up and stole a bunch of flowers someplace and stood on a corner and sold them. I could have made a few grand. Okay? Everybody have a great day. Happy Valentine's Day. Once again, all my love and respect to you all. Thank you.